Hello and welcome to Cyrus Bales Dispatches. This week we discovered a new catchphrase. Brexit means chlorinated chicken? Yes, this is the news that our government would be willing to accept significantly reduced food standards in order to make a trade deal with America. The American Farming Association has made it clear that any deal between the UK and US would mean allowing chlorinated chicken, GMO crops and hormone-injected beef into our food market. Nothing says taking back control quite like putting the health of an entire nation at risk to subscribe to someone else's food standards. It's like sharing needles with someone in a desperate attempt to fit in. The reason chlorination of chicken is bad is because it increases the risk of contamination and has been shown to lead to lower quality of animal welfare and sanitation conditions. Basically, the process allows them to farm in a disgusting manner that promotes contamination and disease. Then they try to wash off the filth afterwards with chlorine. Rather than preventing contamination in the first place, they try to eradicate it later. It's like, instead of wearing a condom, just dipping your cock in bleach afterwards. However, the Brexit crowd are nothing if not inventive with their mental gymnastics to justify things. One of my favourites is, it's just like a swimming pool. They have chlorine in too, right? Because chickens and swimming pools are the exact same thing. The only similarity between them is that they both allow for breaststroke, despite one being far creepier when you do so than the other. What a lot of people don't realise when they say, just don't buy it, is that the reduction in food standards makes production cheaper. That means that in order for British farmers to compete on the market, they would have to adopt similar measures. For a group of people who go on about protecting British industry and jobs, they seem perfectly content with ushering in something that will decimate them. It's like saying, do you want to protect your kids, and then hiring a 1970s BBC entertainer to babysit them. What's more is that the food standards could be at a point where details about whether or not something has been chlorine washed or not, or even where it has come from, will not even be displayed. People won't have the ability to avoid it. So the defence of it's about a free market and making consumer choices doesn't work. People won't have the relevant information to make informed choices. Although people making choices without sufficient information has become quite the trend of late. Chlorinated chicken is just one aspect. There is also the beef pumped with more hormones than a Russian athlete for us to worry about. Hormone pumped beef has been linked to increased risk of cancer, especially prostate and breast cancer. In addition to this, it has been linked to problems with puberty and development. It is also far more cost effective to produce quantity, so yet again, the British farming industry will follow suit or collapse quicker than a Conservative Party manifesto policy. If that doesn't convince you, what about the 82 pesticides that are currently banned for environmental reasons that we could be reintroducing if we lower standards for a US free trade deal? We're going to end up with lower standards than a chav on a Saturday night after 10 pints. It should be noted that the rush to make a US trade deal isn't necessary. As part of the WTO, like we are now, we have the ability to trade with all other WTO members already. Trade deals are not necessary for trade to take place. They just add additional agreements and make trade smoother or cheaper, or open up industries to foreign nations like healthcare or farming. We already trade with America without a trade deal. We do not need a trade deal, especially one where the terms are set by the syphilitic human whatsit that is Donald Trump. If only someone could have predicted this loss in food standards ahead of time and really warned people. If only there was some kind of community of experts maybe who could have continually warned the country over and over and over. The question becomes, what price is too steep for Brexiters? With each passing concern raised that they seem to ignore, I genuinely don't know. Before the referendum, they wouldn't believe cautions over lowering of food standards. It was just fear-mongering according to them. Now they are happily embracing these lower standards and trying to justify them. I will make some sort of joke about denial in a river in Egypt, but they probably wouldn't listen to a sentence involving a foreign country anyway. Because of this, I think we need to address a serious flaw in our language and update a particular definition. Here is the new definition I propose. Fear-mongering, noun. The action of accurately predicting negative consequences people don't want to hear about a particular issue. For example, I don't believe experts and evidence, they are just fear-mongering. And with that, I'm done for this week. Please share and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.